Welcome back to round one, night one of the NFL draft. We while we were gone, we had some picks come in. The Broncos are on the clock. Their picks come in. We'll find out in just a few moments. With the with the 16th pick, as I posted that Walter Nolan went to Old Miss defensive tackle. I think that was a good because Arizona was looking to take a defensive tackle. Oh, we're going the 17th pick. Cincinnati Bengals had that, and they took Shamar Stewart, and they were looking for an edge to really add some depth to their offensive line, and because the one that they had, they kind of was up and down.
He's a defensive player, I think.
Yeah, and Burrow's going to be back with them this year. So, and the Seattle Seahawks took a face-able guard from North Dakota State. Had a really good season with them, and I think Seattle was looking for a guard because they lost a lot of players to free agency. This special, like DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and if you there's an Tampa Bay took Emeka Ibuka, wide receiver, Ohio State, and I think they were looking to get him.
And now Denver's pick is in.
And Denver's pick is in. We're about to find out in just a few seconds. Or it's about right now.
True, right now. Sam is a 17-year-old Broncos fan who has bravely battled cancer. His wish is to announce the first-round draft pick for his favorite team. Please join me in cheering on Sam as his wish comes true. Take it away, Sam.
And we're about to have it announced right now. Let's listen in.
With the 20th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Denver Broncos select Jahdae Barron, DB, Texas.
Jahdae Barron, cornerback, Texas. I think Denver was looking to take a quarterback, a defensive cornerback. They were looking to do one.
In the country had 5 interceptions.
And
their offense was pretty good.
Yeah, and he really had a good season with Texas, and he put up a lot of big numbers with them. And I think that just was a good move for Denver.
I think
for the Broncos.
I think it was a good move. I mean, they could use some help on the
yeah.
And now Pittsburgh is on the clock. We'll see if they
now Pittsburgh's on the clock with the 21st pick in the draft, and we're waiting for that one to come in. We've got about 11 picks more to go after this one, and
we'll see if they take Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, and now we're going to get back to what I was talking about. Back to the questions that Tony Pluto wrote. Here's the next one. Don't they always say we took the best player available during the draft? And the answer to that one, and I think you're going to like this answer, Mitch, off to him, but they don't always mean it. Team of the draft for specific needs. And I can agree with that. That's sort of true in a way. Yet they do take the best, but yet they don't. So it kind of goes back hand in hand with that. Now here's another question: don't the Browns need a quarterback? And the answer is they were 3-14. A significant part of it was the Deshaun Watson mess by far. But the roster is weak. The big swing in the Watson deal cost them 6 draft picks, including 3 first-rounders. It led to signing some other players to win now, and that caused salary cap problems. And this is the first time the Browns did have a pick in the first round since 2021. So, yeah, they do need a quarterback. They do need to draft one. I think you agree. Yes, we need to do that because it's something that we need, even though we already do have 2 veteran quarterbacks. And here's another one. So you don't like the roster? And here's the answer. The Athletic rated the 32 NFL rosters. The Browns were rated 27th. Only New England, New Orleans, Las Vegas, and the Jets and the Titans were worse. And that is absolutely true on that, Mitch.
They do need a quarterback because I don't think it's.
Yeah,
Flacco's like 40.
yeah, he
and,
is.
and I don't think Pickett's the answer. They need to develop another
Yeah,
quarterback.
and the Steelers pick is in. We're going to find out who it is in just a moment. And we'll see if it's another quarterback or what. Here's another question. Wow. And here's the answer to it. Here's what they wrote about the Browns. The good news, the defense should be good. The problem is that you have to score points to win football games, and the Browns have very little talent on offense. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, or a rookie will be suiting up at quarterback while the running back and wide receiver rooms boast little talent. It gets worse. The Browns' offensive tackles rate among the bottom 10. This roster has a long way to go, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. And they do have a long way to go because they need several pieces of the puzzle. And we're waiting for the Steelers pick to come in. And a lot of people were predicting that they were going to take Jackson Dart. But I'm not so sure of that.
They might take Shedeur Sanders. I don't know.
You never know. And another question is, do you believe that?
We'll see. Here's Rodgers
Let me find out. We're going to find out what the Steelers picked right now. We'll get back to the questions in just a moment. Let's listen in.
Steelers select Derek Harmon.
Oh,
Defensive
Derek Harmon, the Steelers select. Defensive tackle, Oregon. Ooh, now that's an interesting pick.
Very.
But I think maybe they want to wait till the second round to draft a quarterback. But I think this was a good. Do you think this was a good move for the Steelers? Do you think it was?
I mean, it could be. They could put him opposite
Yeah, and
TJ Ward.
yeah,
TJ Watt.
yeah, and getting a defensive tackle, and I think that's what they needed. I think they needed a defensive tackle, and I really think they were looking to get him, and he's out of Oregon, and he really had a sort of a good season, but I think he put up numbers, but I think he might have been on and off in a few areas. But all in all, he had a pretty good season, and the Chargers are now on the clock with the 22nd pick, and they had a decent season, but I think they fell just short of the playoffs. But actually, they did make the playoffs, but were eliminated.
Yeah, they were. I think they were eliminated in Walker, were they not?
Yeah, and they still have Justin Herbert at quarterback, and Harbaugh is looking for a few more pieces of the puzzle because they did have I think a few players in free agency with the Chargers. So we'll see. And I get back to the questions. As I mentioned, do you believe that? And then here's the answer to that one. Most of it they need about everything. On offense, it's why Hunter is, which we didn't take him. It's so attractive, but we did not take him. That wasn't the case. He fits the get more football players mandate, but we did not take him. Most experts rate him as the best receiver and cornerback in the draft, but of course we did not take him. Now here's another question: what is the best position? And here's the answer to that one. The most immediate position is wide receiver. Now, remember, offense is the Browns' biggest weakness, and that is by far their biggest weakness. They need a lot of pieces of the puzzles on offense, and he caught the passes, and he had only 3 drops, but that didn't happen. We did not take Hunter. They can use him at times in the defensive secondary, but as Barry said, he has a number of rare qualities, but the rarest is the ability with the ball, his ball skills. We would want to put him in a position that maximizes his ability, but we did not take Hunter, so the Jacksonville Jaguars got him. Now, what about Barry praising Jalen Milroy? Here's what he said about the Alabama quarterback. He's got a rare physical talent. He may be the only quarterback when he gets in the NFL who's like faster than Lamar Jackson, Now, don't tell Lamar I said that. That's what he said. Please, he's strong. He's fast. He's got a really strong arm, and any system that you build around him would be to take advantage of the fact that he has things that no other players at that position have. And Milroy put up a lot of big numbers. He had just a phenomenal season with Alabama, despite them getting knocked out in the playoffs. And but Milroy could be a potential quarterback for the Browns. He could be a potential rookie quarterback. And I think that could be, Mister. I think Milroy can be.
Potentially, because I know he did play at Alabama. He did play for Tommy Rees, who's new offensive coordinator for the
Yeah, he
Browns.
did.
So he's familiar with that system. So that may be a plus.
And I can very much agree with that. And I really have to agree with you on that, Mitch. Here's the next question. That's what I said. That's the answer to that one. And then another question is, meaning what? Now, here's the answer to that one. Barry can give the football hosannas to Hunter, although we didn't take him because Hunter should be there to draft, but now he's not. We didn't take him. We took Mason Graham, unless Tennessee shocks everyone and skips Cam Ward for Hunter, but that was not the case. Tennessee did take Cam Ward in the first round. Now, what if that happens? Another, do the Browns take Ward or do they trade down? But they traded down to number 5 and took Mason Graham, as you know. Probably can add a lot of picks for Ward, but Tennessee took him in the first round. I haven't thought about that scenario. I wonder if they are sold on Ward or at number 2. I have doubts about that. I have my doubts too about that because I kind of had a feeling Tennessee was going to take him in the first round. Now, is Milroy another Lamar Jackson? That's another question. And here's the answer to that one. I looked at their college stats. I forgot how dominating Jackson was at Louisville in his last season. He led the ACC in passing yardage, 3,660 yards, and rushing yardage, 1,601. He had completed 59% of his passes, 27 TDs, and compared to 10 interceptions, yet the only former Baltimore GM, Ozzie Newsome, also former Brown before moving to Baltimore, and projected him as a first pick. Other NFL people thought he should become a wide receiver. Now, I really think Lamar Jackson has really proven himself in Baltimore, and but Milroy couldn't. Now, here's another question. Just like some NFL people have said, Milroy would be a great running back. Here's the answer to that one, sort of like that. Milroy had 12 rushing TDs of at least 10 yards. That even more than Jackson, who had 11 in 2016 and 2017. It's the most by any college QB in the last 25 years, according to Dane Brugler of The Athletic. A Mount Union product. Brugler is one of my favorite draft analysts. Milroy has a very strong arm, but it's not a natural passer. In his last 2 years at Alabama, he threw 39 TD passes compared to 27 interceptions. He rates Milroy, as the number 5 QB in the draft, but that was not the case. He didn't go at number 5 because the Browns took Mason Graham behind Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, and Tyler Shaw. So, but Milroy could be a possible quarterback for the Browns, and we're still waiting for the Chargers pick to come in. So we're about almost 15 seconds away from that pick. Hopefully we get it in before I have to go on a break. Here's another question. What QB does Brugler project for the Browns? Here's the answer. In his most recent mock draft, Brugler has Ward and Sanders picked in the first round. But Ward was taken by Tennessee, but I think Shador Sanders could be a fit for the Browns. That gives Cleveland lots of choices, and he puts Dart with the Browns. He puts Jackson Dart with the Browns, and that could be a potential quarterback for the Browns too.
We'll see how far they fall. If they fall in the second round.
Yeah, and we'll see how that comes out in the second round. If that's the case, and that probably will be. And the Chargers pick is in. Will another quarterback go off the board? We're going to find out who the Chargers have taken in just a few seconds.
I don't know if the Chargers need a quarterback. They got Herbert, so you know.
So
If we're looking at we're judging the landscape right here, we don't need to pay.
we will find out in just a few seconds who the Chargers have taken with the 22nd pick. And the Chargers do need a few more pieces of the puzzle because I do know Harbaugh does want his team to get back to the playoffs. And most teams have stayed put with their draft pick in this first round, and it's been interesting so far.
Yeah, I think other than the Browns trading back to 5, I don't think there's been any other trade so far.
I think that was the only trade so far. And with the Browns taking at number 5, Mason Graham, defensive lineman, Michigan. But I think, do you think this was a good move for the Browns? Well, as we mentioned earlier.
Well, I think it gave him a few more draft picks to try to fill it.
Yeah, I think it did too.
So
I think it did too. I think we're about to find out who the Chargers have selected because I want to get this in before I go on a break and upload this video for this segment. So
it should be coming up here very, very
and I think we're about to find out in just a few seconds here. And there's the Chargers draft room. We kind of have some technical problems in here. We're about to find out.
Here we go.
So let's listen in to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell.
The Los Angeles Chargers select Omarion Hampton, running back.
They selected Marion Hampton, running back, North Carolina.
Back-to-back monster seasons for the
and he had back-to-back monster seasons with North Carolina. Really put up a lot of big numbers, and I think this is a good move for the Chargers, and I think you would agree, Mitch, because they needed a running back, and because the running back they had last year, which was Joey Bauza, and he was up and down. He kind of wasn't putting it together.
I thought they had
no, not Joey Bauza.
They had what's his name from Ohio State?
Yeah. I know his name.
Can't think of his name.
Oh.
Can't think of his name. I think he left in free agency. What's his name?
Yeah, and
I can't think. It's like on the tip of my tongue. I can't think of his name.
But the one that they did have from Ohio State, he kind of had some ups and downs, and kind of wasn't getting it together there.
And he was coming off of injury, as I recall.
Yeah, and Packer fans are happy because
they're on the
Green
clock.
Bay Packers are on the clock at legendary Lambeau Field, and we're waiting for that pick to come in. And the Packers, they had a pretty good year. They came back towards the end of the season and managed to get a wild card spot in the playoffs, but we're not able to get past. I think it was the second round. They got eliminated in the second round. Now, what did Barry say about Dart? That's another question. Here's the answer. I asked Barry about Dart and Milroy, and the GM said this about the Mississippi QB. He's very well rounded. He can run it. He can throw it. He's accurate. He's a good decision maker. I'd say he's pretty scheme versatile, so to speak. I think both of those guys, Milrow and Dart, in the proper situation, can be really good NFL players, and that is absolutely true. I agree with that. What about you, Mitch? Do you think they can be?
I think they both could be good NFL players. I mean, they proved themselves at the college level. So
and Jackson Dart or Milrow can be either one, and even Shador Sanders. And here's another question: do you like Dart in the top of the second round? Absolutely, Brugler had some interesting stats on Dart. The 6'2", 221-pound QB led Division I QBs and completions of at least 10 yards. He threw more often from the play action than any Division I QB, which fits with Kevin Stefanski's offense. He tends to have this pocket early, to leave the pocket early, and holds the ball too long. He's a deceptive and a tough runner. And I'm going to get back to this in a moment. I've got to take a break and upload this video. We'll be right back. More coming up. We'll let you know what picks have come in. Stay with us.